College Boulevard Activity Center. I'm Evan Kolopek alongside Drew Fleeler as we are commentating the Olathe Northwest versus Olathe West soccer match. At this time, we are doing the lineups for the two teams, and so Drew, the Ravens start off at 2-1, all three games from the Olathe Invitational. One of those was actually a PK match against Blue Valley North. What do you have to say about that?
I'd have to say that the defense is looking strong so far this season, only allowing one goal overall. And that's good. I just feel like this is the game to really get the offense started.
Yeah, we're just waiting for that avalanche of goals to start flowing with a front three of Jenny Hiraki, Lindsay Carr, and Jamie Barman. A front three, a new front three. Last year we had a striker of Mia Hake, but this year she has moved to a center attacking mid position. What do you have to say about that positional change from Chris Graham?
I'd have to say that the midfield probably was lacking a little bit of strength, and Mia has that strength, and she's going to help the midfield kind of get together a little bit more and help play in those strikers, forwards.
I agree completely. So the Ravens start off at 2-1 with a win against Blue Valley North, 6-5 on PKs, a loss against Blue Valley Southwest, 0-1, and a win against Shawnee Mission West, 1-0. So all three low-scoring games. That's all from the Olathe Invitational, in which the Ravens finished in a positive spot for sure, and they look to carry their momentum into the Olathe West game. What's the plan for these Ravens? How are they going to execute and win against the Olathe West Owls?
Well, the West team appears to be very young and very new. They also seem to be pretty small, so I feel like attacking them off the get-go will hopefully produce a few goals, and they'll be set for the rest of the game after that.
Now, against a small lineup like Olathe West, are we looking for a more attack-minded offense, maybe long balls, or are we trying to possess the ball throughout the field?
I say that you try to feel them out for a few minutes, and after a while you could probably just keep going with the long ball.
And so we should get started in about 5 minutes here at the College Boulevard Activity Center, but for now we're going to keep talking about the lineup. We have the Olathe West Lady Owls. They're the new kids on the block. Yeah, new kids. They're just now starting in the Olathe School District and in Sunflower. School created, what was it, last year?
Yeah,
last year.
Yeah, this is their first year on the scene, and soccer is one of their few sports that they play varsity with. They actually didn't have a varsity football team, but it's definitely just a new start and a new team in the league. It's exciting.
It is exciting. We're seeing a lot of expansion within the Olathe School District as we also get a new middle school by a name that nobody really knows because we've ran out of trails. But with the Olathe West Owls, you know, they've made a huge splash and surprised a lot of people with their basketball. Football has done successful in the lower divisions. Their soccer team has also been successful. What do you have to say about the success early in their program?
I'd have to say it's pretty impressive, especially with no seniors at all. Just juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. It's pretty impressive to see how much they've accomplished in their first year, and I think it's a sign of good things to come.
It is definitely a bright future, and for today's game, we have Chris Graham head coaching for the Ravens with assistants Coach Latimer and Coach Shelley. While for Olathe West, we have a head coach of Matt Trump, who is a very notable club coach if you're in the world of soccer. He has coached a lot of younger sporting teams. So what do you have to say about that extra experience carrying over to the high school season?
I'd say it gives West a bit of an advantage to the tactical side of things with an experienced coach like that, but I feel capable in Chris Graham's ability to lead these girls out here and put up a good fight.
How much does experience come into play in a game like this, where you have Olathe Northwest who have players who have played in games like these for 1, 2, 3, 4 years, and you have West, who is a new school, new team, just now getting started. How much does experience play into this?
I think it's a major factor. The girls on the northwest side really have a feel for these types of games, whereas only some of the girls on the west side have played at this level, maybe at a different school last year. But with lesser people with that experience, I definitely think it puts them at a bit of a disadvantage tonight.
I agree. And it looks like we are about ready to go, and unconclusive as to who has the kickoff. Olathe West has the kickoff. And so let's get ready for 40 minutes of action. Yeah?
Yeah, I'm ready.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And the kickoff. Olathe West goes with a more possession-oriented soccer. They go backwards. A high pressure from Olathe Northwest. How important is that in this type of game?
I think it'll be good because West is lacking that experience and confidence on the ball that some of these Northwest girls seem to have from their experiences in the past. And I definitely think it's a good tactic to start off the game and to really get these girls working.
And a touch outside as Jenny Hiraki gets by her man. And a shot sails over the bar for a goal kick. And the Ravens start off punching early. It is very impressive, the high pressure that has been started in this game, as they have also shown in previous games.
Well, we'll have to see if they can keep up this pressure for the entirety of the game.
You know, it is a long game. They have 80 minutes in a full game.
It is, it is.
Taylor Weens out wide. Almost turned over in the defense, but cleared. Jenny Hiraki with another steal. Back out to Kathleen Payne. Jenny going down the line. And wins a corner for Olathe Northwest. Jenny Hiraki has started off very good for the Ravens, as she has been able to really pressure their right back and has won 2 or 3 balls. How important is it for the wings to actually really apply pressure to the their fullbacks?
I think it's very vital. If you can get the ball out wide and cross these balls against the smaller team, I definitely think it puts you at an advantage in the air, and it should result in a few goals.
The cross in from Weens. And the header! And it's in! The Ravens score early in the 38th minute as Mia Hake uses her head and puts the ball into the bottom left corner. How about that?
What did I just say?
Height is definitely an advantage in this game, as a very particular corner kick routine from Chris Graham, especially in the girls' game. I haven't seen that in the guys' game, but
yeah.
What is that? A little back post shindig? It's very, very peculiar, but it pays off.
It does, especially against these smaller teams. It only took a few minutes to really show how the size was going to be a big factor in this game.
Yes, as we have the sideline ref coming over to order the timekeeper to stop the clock. There we go. He has stopped the clock. And the clock is going to be reset to 38:01. So that is the time of the goal. So 1 minute and 59 seconds for Olathe Northwest to really get things going on the score sheet. This is the kind of excitement that fans love to see at the games.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. The high press really seemed to be paying off. It only took about 2 minutes to really show that.
I agree. And they continue to do it as Malia Schinkel wins the ball, but then gives it away and wins it back. Taylor Weens takes it from the center back position and finds Malia Schinkel. Out wide again to Jenny Hiraki, who loses it. And Olathe West takes over with a very nice piece of footwork, but ultimately given away to Taylor Weens. Kathleen Payne to Schinkel. Out to Hiraki. Cleared by Olathe West. Kathleen Payne with a bit of footwork. They seem to be attacking the left wing a little bit more than the right. Is there a certain a certain aspect that is better from the left than the right, or is it just kind of feeling the defense? What do you have to say?
I think they're just feeling him out for now. Is Lindsey
and on
Carr.
goal.
Shot just wide right. I definitely feel that they feel more comfortable on the left side. At least it appears to be that way from the start. I'm sure they'll get out wide to Lindsey Carr as they feel him out just a little bit more.
And Lindsey Carr showing the pressure that Jenny Hiraki has shown. It's been successful so far. I mean, we've had 2 clear-cut opportunities. One has gone in and one has just sailed wide right as Schinkel gets the ball and is blocked off at the top of the box. West outside with what seems like a little bit of space as they go for the long ball. Taylor Weens takes the ball outside and is taking no chances as she puts it out for a throw. In that situation where the defense is put under pressure, do you like the clearance of the ball or maybe a little bit of calmness and possession-oriented?
I feel like since it's just the start of the game, I think a clearance isn't the worst option. Just feeling them out. Maybe later on in the game when they're feeling a bit more set in, pass back to the keeper or holding on to it may be a better option.
Yes, and Kaylee Kappelman is in goal for the Ravens, as she has been in goal for a couple years. She's done pretty well. She helped the Ravens win in that PK shootout against Blue Valley North with a terrific save on one of the PKs to win 6-5. So she has definitely shown her quality in the past few games as Olathe West attacks the left wing. But Taylor Weens is having none of it and puts it out for another throw. Taylor Weens is a real force in the defense, isn't she?
She is. She really holds them all together there at center back position.
Yes. And Mia Hake with the tackle. A through ball. Offside. So we're headed the other way. Olathe West is a team that likes to do those through balls to the wings. How do you defend that as a defender?
There's many different ways that you can, but I just think it's best to stay back and feel them out for a while, as you haven't seen this West team before. You haven't seen the strikers. You don't know the pace of them. And once you get a sense for how things are going, maybe it'll be acceptable to step up a little bit and kind of try and counter those. But for now, I think it's best just to let them roll through a little bit and see what West is like on the ball, since they haven't been on it much.
Taylor Weens needing a substitution as Bella Latorella fills in at the left center back position and Maddie Weaver switches to right center back. Maddie Weaver with the kick. Goes to Olathe West to clear it back to our goalkeeper, Kaylee Kappelman. Taylor Weens looking like a little bit of a maybe a hamstring issue, but she's a tough trooper, so we shall see if she comes back out real soon. Won by Mia Hake in the midfield. To Kathleen Payne.
Good composure from Kathleen Payne in the middle.
That's something you need at a central defensive midfield position, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's good to have someone in the midfield to trust on the ball and to stay calm and switch the field for the girls.
It's definitely a game of space, for sure. Header by Maddie Weaver. But Olathe West seems like they've finally gotten a grip on the game a little bit, and they're starting to compete. We're seeing more of the game in the central part of the field instead of on Olathe West's half. Do you think they've finally kind of felt it out a little bit and are able to compete?
Yes, I do. After the first goal, I feel like they kind of kicked it in gear a little bit, and they've seemed to be putting on a little bit more pressure on the Ravens.
They've definitely done quite a few long balls. I'm not sure if that's exactly worked so far, as we've had a few goal kicks for Kaylee Kappelman, who specializes it. I mean, she knows how to take a goal kick. She is a goalkeeper.
She does have a good boot on her.
Mm-hmm. As she takes another one. One back by Hiraki, but given back to Olathe West. Kathleen Payne with the steal. And the Ravens look like they're about to go on the counter, but it breaks down. Olathe West with a little bit of possession. but given away cheaply to Bella Latorella. Ah, Taylor Weens just came back on the field. How about that?
She appears to be doing okay.
She's like a ninja. She just comes out of nowhere. Bella Latorella with the pressure. A little bit of fancy footwork from the right winger. But ultimately given away to Taylor Weens.
Looking for a switch here on the right. The right side still yet to be touched. The left side appearing to be favored by the Ravens.
Lindsay Carr, she just wants the ball. She enjoys having the ball at her feet, but the Ravens have yet to been able to give it to her, as they've been leaning more towards Hiraki. As she kicks it to Barman, but given away. High pressure from Barman as she tries to win it back. And out of bounds for a throw-in. We got a substitution here. Out comes Schinkel, and in comes number 16, Skylar Long, a sophomore midfielder. Oh, a collision. It'll be an Olathe West free kick as Barman just gets a little too excited for the header. She is a very aggressive force in the air, is she not?
She is. I can recall a game last year where there was a questionable straight red card. She being on the receiving end, but...
Yes, yes. Very questionable.
Very, very questionable. But that aggression is something that's nice to have, especially for a striker to put some pressure on the defense.
As she displays that by winning it back, and the Ravens get a little possession in the final third. As Hiraki takes it outside, cuts in. Has a shot from distance, but saved by number 0, Carson Jaso. Oh, but one back quickly. Barman with a touch at the top of the box. Taken down, but... Oh! And ultimately given a foul against Barman as she blocks off the defender in an illegal way. Quick free kick as they go out wide. Early pressure from number 21. Ashton Dane, and the Ravens have it back as they attack again. A very attack-minded team for the Ravens.
Yes, the defense has not been on the ball a lot today for the Ravens, but their attacking game, they're still trying to feel it out a little bit, but they've already scored once, so it means that they've got an idea on how to break down this West team.
Now, as a defender, do you like it when the offense is able to handle the load and play adequate defense to where the defender's job becomes a lot easier? Or do you like to, you know, get your hands dirty a little bit and be able to take into some of those tackles?
I think it depends on the game, Evan, but I think if a defender is not doing a lot, it's a good sign that the offense is getting the job done.
And that's something that Chris Graham wants with his high-pressure offense. It's very in certain situations I'd say it succeeds in certain aspects.
I agree.
But if broken down, that really puts the defense in a vulnerable position as the Ravens kick it out again for another goal kick, and we have a double substitution as it looks like number 4 and number 11 come in. Malia Schinkel back in, and Riley Pickworth playing at the left back position, the opposite of where she started, which is the right back position.
And it appears that Mia Hake has moved up to the forward position, the striker spot, as Jamie Barman was subbed for Malia Schinkel.
Stolen back by the Ravens and taken up the field as Lindsay Carr looks for Mia Hake, but cheaply given away, but won back by Taylor Weens. Mia Hake decides to go with a little more possession and sends it back to the defense. Maddie Weaver finds Kathleen Payne, who just slices it a little bit, but the right idea.
West applying some pressure here.
Taylor Weens with a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge, but deemed a foul. I like to believe it's a physical game in a world where you are able to do shoulder-to-shoulder challenges, but maybe just a little too aggressive there in the eyes of the referee. As Taylor Weens lets it roll to Kaylee Kappelman. Very calmly. even though a little bit of pressure was applied. Up to Kathleen Payne.
Some space in the middle for Schenkel.
Out wide to Hiraki as she cuts in, but just a touch too big, as number 20 for Olathe West, Megan Geyer, steals it, and West is on the counter, it seems. But also given away as Taylor Weens follows the ball but never touches it, so then Kaylee Kappelman is able to pick it up. Won by Olathe West, but skewed out of bounds as Ashton Dane goes for the throw-in, and another double substitution from Chris Graham. Is frequent substitutions the way to go for a coach, or do you like to keep certain players in for a long period of time?
Well, with the way that Graham seems to be playing this with the pressing, I think it's good to sub a lot and get the girls a breather, so they can come back out and keep playing at that level for just a little bit longer.
And we have what seems to be the first appearance of the game for Skylar Sherinian at the right wing position. And also on the left wing, I'm unable to figure out who it is because the numbers are so small on the back of the jerseys. Or on the front, the back is actually very visible. Number 13, Mia Barkium. And so those are the first appearances for those in the game, as Taylor Weens wins it back in the defense and instantly goes on the attack, finding Mia Hake. But back out to Riley Pickworth. Olathe West applying a bit of pressure and wins it in the midfield, but stolen back by Maddie Weaver off a pass. There's a through ball, but nobody on the end of it, but high pressure from Mia Hake. Almost able to get there right before the goalkeeper kicks it. It's that high pressure that puts the goalkeeper under pressure, yeah?
Yeah. As we saw there, pass back was a questionable option by West, but it seemed to have paid off. Maybe on another day, Mia will be just blocking that and going in the back of the net.
As Olathe West takes it to the right wing and back out to the center with a big boot. Right to Maddie Weaver as she settles it and goes into a hard challenge and wins.
Clean though. Clean challenge.
The referee deems this one clean. And he blows his whistle for a foul from Olathe West, and this is a dangerous position for the Ravens. Taylor Weens, a free kick specialist. She has scored a few in her day. What do you have to say about that?
I say the size of the goalie here is a factor on whether or not she's going to try and put this in the back of the net. But she does have good placement of the ball, and with the size in the box, it could result in another header.
And we have Riley Pickworth open on the left wing. Let's see if that's an interesting option to go for the attack. She sends it in. It's a high lofting ball, but over the bar. That's kind of the approach that Taylor Weens likes to do for these free kicks, but it's definitely a hit or miss kind of approach, is it not?
It definitely is, but when they go in, sure pretty to watch.
Kind of a hashtag SC Top 10 kind of play.
It is. We had a few subs here. Number 19, Caroline Steele, coming into the game for I'm not sure who, as well as number 16, Skylar Long, back into the midfield.
The short ball, as the Olathe West keeper comes out a fair amount away from the goal. Stolen back as number 13, Mia Barkium, applies the pressure. Olathe West clears, but won by Riley Pickworth. Schenkel in the midfield. Just a touch too big, but still the Ravens have it. But Olathe West finally wins it in the midfield. One back. Oh, just hits the ref. That's something that is a little odd with soccer, is balls hitting the referee, yeah?
Yeah, the ref's considered to be part of the field. And sometimes it works out in your favor, and other times you just wish he wasn't standing there. It definitely adds a different perspectives to the game.
I would say it really puts him or her into the game, yeah?
It does,
yes.
It does, more than they already are.
Sometimes you just don't want them quite that far into the game.
Yeah.
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 Taken outside by Barkium. As she goes to the ground, but no foul given. And an Olathe West throw. And once again, they start going back to the defense, as it looks like they try to keep a little possession until they finally have to clear it. But this strategy has seemed a little ineffective in the first 20 minutes of the game.
Yeah, not a lot going for West. Not many clear-cut chances so far. The Ravens really seem to be doing a good job of keeping the ball in their half. Or in West's half, my bad.
And a through ball by Olathe West, and that's probably one of the first through balls we've seen that's been effective, as they win a throw deep in the final third of Olathe Northwest. It finally gives the Olathe West defenders a chance to catch their breath a little bit.
They must be tired. The high press has really been a problem for them early on in this game. As we saw, resulted in a goal. And yeah, now a goal kick for Olathe Northwest as Kaylee Kappelman takes her time going to grab this ball.
Substitution for the Ravens as number 16, Skylar Long, comes off, replaced by Kathleen Payne. Kappelman with the goal kick. As she surveys her options,
she's looking to pick out someone in the midfield here to bring the ball down and get some possession going.
Header one and found Schinkel. Oh, just a tad too far. Looking for Kathleen Payne, and Olathe West wins it back and starts with a little bit of possession. Olathe West calm there. Yeah. As they boot it forward again, and one. And Olathe West has in the midfield as they go out wide. Looking for number 3. Lizzie Finley. But one back by Olathe Northwest as Schinkel has it in the midfield. Booted back across. And this time they do a pass back, and this time it seems like a more adequate pass.
It does. There wasn't as many girls on the Ravens up at that time, so the goalkeeper had plenty of time to receive the ball and find her next pass.
Taylor Weens takes it outside. She's a center back, so she's a little bit out of position, but she plays a very decent ball to the wing, but shielded out of bounds by number 14, Grayson Cheney, and goes out for an Olathe West goal kick, as we have a 4-person sub being conducted right now. Let's see if we can get all these. Let's see, we got Lindsay Carr coming back on, Barman coming back on. At the left back position, it is a new fullback as Pickworth moves to the right.
What number is that on the left back?
Just a little far away. West takes it up the left side of the field. Looks like 17. 17.
Drew Klusman.
Drew Klusman,
the freshman.
The only freshman. No. One of the 2 freshmen, along with Barkium, who we've seen on the left wing. What does it mean to be a freshman and make it on the varsity team?
I think it's a good start. Coach Graham likes to take players while they're young and really develop them over the 4 years. So by the time they're a senior, junior, they really have a spot in this team and leading this team.
Olathe West with the throw-in and a shot. Saved by Kappelman. Relatively an easy save. Ultimately, when you're in that position, you might be looking for the right side of the goal, but she decided to go near post. Kappelman was having none of it.
Yeah, that was West's first chance or first shot on goal of the game. I think if you're West and you get in that spot, you're really looking just to test the keeper. You haven't tested him at all yet, and that's exactly what they did. They got Kappelman, but she was on her toes, and they remain goalless.
Olathe West with the possession. they've stringed together a few passes here, and it's looking like a decent move as Taylor Weens takes a big touch but is able to recover.
Weens is very strong on the ball. It's hard to get the ball off her feet when she's attacking. As West tries to play another through ball, but Pickworth is looking to clear it out wide and just reset for the defense.
Number 14 with the throw-in for the Owls, Grayson Cheney again. Back to 17, Issa Yangs.
West again playing with it in the back, but very calm and collected as they are. Back out on their left side.
A little bit of fancy footwork from number 3 as they begin to head into an attack, but it's broken down, and Lindsay Carr goes into a battle with Olathe West, and it's deemed as a foul by the referee, as Olathe West is looking to play it a little bit quickly.
Yeah, that foul. Carr's eyes weren't really on the player. She was going for the ball there, just a bit unlucky.
Olathe West with a quick free kick, and looks like they're headed south, but they start going forward with a attempted through ball, but Klusman intercepts and wins it back. And it looks like we might have some numbers on the counterattack here, as Barman receives the ball and takes it out wide for Hiraki, and she's known for her pace.
Number 12 on West, Emily Hutchings, was having none of that, as she wins a goal kick for her team.
Brilliant piece of defending to kick the ball off the attacker. It
the
really
pace
resets.
Was there on her as well.
Yes.
The pace was there. She kept up with Hiraki. Something that we hadn't seen a lot of at the start of the game.
Olathe West with a goal kick routine that is somewhat unconventional in the high school game, with their center backs on the outside of the box. What is the benefits of this routine?
It's good for the teams who feel comfortable with their defenders on the ball and who want to hold on to the ball. It's also beneficial in the sense that you don't have to win a 50-50 in order to win the ball back out of the air. So I think it's not a bad approach for West, especially with the size disadvantage that they have going for him.
As West kicks it out of bounds for an Olathe Northwest throw-in, excuse me, and a substitution for Olathe West, as number 20 Megan Geyer comes off, and it looks like they've swapped a few players around because Geyer was the left back, and the substitution has gone in as the right wing, so maybe a little bit of interchanging.
Yeah, these West girls, there isn't a lot of them, so I'm sure a few of them know how to play a couple positions. As the ball is booted up by Taylor Weens into the arms of goalkeeper Carson Jaso.
The high pressure from the Ravens again. It seems like they've stepped off a little bit in this individual occasion. Do you think they're starting to respect Olathe West in their possession in the back?
I think they are, as well as maybe just getting a little bit tired from the press. The press is something that really works the girls a lot, and it's something that is hard to do for a whole 80 minutes, so it's probably just a mixture of those two things, and I'm sure that at the start of the second half they'll be right back on the press trying to get an early goal.
Klusman fights for the ball and finds Schinkel as Schinkel looks for Hiraki on the wing, but just a tad too short. Taken out wide. Oh, and a rough shove in the back on Schinkel. A foul awarded. And Taylor Weens steps up for the free kick. That was a rough push in the back.
That was, but it puts Olathe Northwest in a nice spot for the free kick from Taylor Weens. Again, the size here is going to be a big factor, as Taylor is looking to place this anywhere in the 18-yard box.
A big kick from Weens. Just over the head of Mia Hake, but it looks like it's going to stay in bounds. Mia Hake with it at the corner. Just shielding off her man. And kicked into the box. Flicked. Oh, and a scramble!
Oh.
Oh. But the referee has
deemed the goalkeeper had the ball in her possession there.
that
What are your thoughts on that, Evan?
that was a little questionable. I think the miscommunication between Olathe West and their goalie and the defenders really actually should have cost them, but they ended up being bailed out by the referee, as Taylor Weens receives in the defense and looks to go on the attack right away, finding Mia Hake as she's able to be aggressive and win the ball in the midfield. Pickworth with a pass, but just a tad misplaced as Olathe West wins in the midfield. More fancy footwork from number 10. She seems to be the girl on the team, kind of the creator.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that one from what we've seen so far this game. She seems very calm on the ball, and that's something that West should be very grateful to have. That's something that a lot of teams don't have, and yeah, she could definitely be a major threat to the defense of Olathe Northwest.
And high press from Lindsay Carr. Barman continues the press. And won by Pickworth. So the press continues to pay off as Olathe Northwest wins it what seems like consistently in the in Olathe West's half. But when you win those balls, you have to make something of it, yeah?
Yeah, and we've seen quite a few mistakes from the Olathe Northwest defense so far. When they win those balls, they really gotta make sure to find the feet of their midfielders and work the ball up instead of trying to force it right away. Kind of break down this Olathe West defense.
There was a good switch of play from Drew Klusman as she finds Lindsay Carr, and Lindsay Carr is able to hit it off an Olathe West player. Schinkel with it. And what might have seemed like a handball, but the referee says play on. And a through ball for Hiraki. But the Olathe West defender gets there first and is able to kick it out for a throw-in.
Again, that left side with Hiraki has been targeted a lot by the midfielders of Olathe Northwest. The pass is yet to be there, but the opportunities definitely are.
One substitution for each team as Bella LaTorella comes on for the Ravens. A long throw finds Mia Hake, who tries to flick it on, but intercepted by Olathe West. One back by Hake. Finds Taylor Weens as they reset. Oh, but she slips on the ball, and Olathe West wins it.
Chance here for Olathe West.
Taylor Weens wins it back with a clean... No! Deemed as a foul.
Wow. I'm not going to have to... I don't agree with that one, Evan. I do not at all.
Maybe just... She did get ball for sure.
I feel like the ball was won a little bit more than the player there, but
the referee just happened to...
The referee saw it otherwise.
Yes.
Chance here for Olathe West. What do you think their plan is here?
It seems as if they're overloading the far side, either a shot to the back post or a cross. Lindsay Carr does not look like she's 10 yards, and the referee says, back it up a little bit, as she steps forward and disregards his message. And a shot back post, but ultimately an easy save for Kappelman. She is unfazed. She's cool as a cucumber, yeah?
Yeah, I would have to agree. She hasn't been tested very much at all this game. Yeah, she's been doing her job just fine.
Barman with the shoulder-to-shoulder challenge, but Olathe West clears it all the way back to Kappelman as they press X to respawn. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the Fortnite players and Call of Duty players would have to say. Shout out to all our gamers out there.
Barman with the pressure. Olathe West once again possessing in the defensive third pretty calmly. Their two center backs have shown much composure.
Again, playing it back to the goalkeeper, who finds number 9 of West, Carolina Jennerwine, out wide, but quickly won back by the Ravens.
Taken up by Bella, and it looked like it tipped off a West player.
Corner.
And the referee agrees.
Nice job again, winning the ball quickly there.
How important is it to have a a outside back or a fullback who can attack those wings and really give an extra option to the winger.
I think it's very important, especially with these pressing teams, because more people, more pressure. As Northwest, they seem to be going for an odd routine here off the kickoff or the corner kick. The players crowding the 6-yard box and then backing off. Another chance there for Mia Hake, just glides off her head and out for a West goal kick.
Taylor Weens again picking out Mia Hake. That seems to be the target of these corner kicks.
Yeah, she's definitely the person that you're looking to have put the ball in the back of the net for the Ravens.
Substitutions for the Ravens as number 6, Skylar Sherinian comes in along with number 21, Ashton Dane. West takes the short goal kick, and the goalkeeper comes out for a pass back.
Her goal wide open at the moment.
Very calm from the goalkeeper as she delivers it back. Almost stolen, but just a touch too big by Jamie Barman. And out for another goal kick as Olathe West looks to do the same procedure that they have done all game. Finds number 3 on the top of the box, Lizzie Finley. And high pressure here from the Ravens. And almost just a tad too calm by Olathe West as it goes out for a corner.
Yeah, the composure was lacking there a little bit. This is the first real time that the Ravens have made them pay off that press and playing around with it in the back. As Taylor Weens steps up for yet another corner for the Ravens. They appear to be stacking the 6-yard box once again just to confuse West a little bit. And maybe cause some chaos.
The referee watches with a keen eye as to not see any fouls, as launched in by Weens, but over everybody. And a little bit of a shove in the back, and the referee has seen it and has given a foul as West takes it quick and finds number 18, Anna Van Dusen. Stolen back, but then kicked out of bounds by number 6, Skylar Sherinian. The big kick, and it finds its way to number 18 at the striker's position. She's looking for the winger there, but unable to do so. Skylar Sherinian surrounded by 3 players. Almost got sandwiched there.
Yeah, it's Mia Hake looked to take this quickly. The ref not having that. Slowing down the play a bit.
And it looks like the referee is going to bring Skylar Sherinian in for a talk, even though she was fouled. Maybe just a little bit of mouthing off, a little bit of
maybe
friendly competition between the players.
Yep, that's up for interpretation. As Taylor Weens kicks the ball in for great ball by Taylor Weens.
And a miss clear, and Barkium is able to win it back. Klusman accidentally kicks it off Olathe West, and Olathe West is on the counter, but Maddie Weaver is unfazed. Kappelman kicks it with 3:45 left on the clock as halftime nears. Out for a throw, and it is a West throw. Once again, West goes quick with the throw, playing it simple. Is able to switch the point of attack, finding number 3, Lizzie Finley.
Collision there between West and the Raven defender.
And the referee seems to be playing advantage there. I agree with the call, but maybe just a tad too long with the advantage.
Yeah. He's just doing his job. As West appears to be looking for that back post again. Ball probably a little bit too far to go for a shot.
Lofted in. And cleared out by Olathe Northwest, and it finds its way to number 21, Ashton Dane, who boots it up the right wing, and it's a 2v1 here.
As Mia Barkium wins it, but just too big of a touch out for a West throw.
Taylor Weens with the boot. And just a tad too far to the sideline as it goes out for a throw-in. Quickly taken by Olathe West.
With about 2 minutes left in this first half, what are your thoughts on the game so far, Evan?
I think the high press is definitely working for the Ravens. I think if I had to say one thing that could really set the Ravens apart is figuring out what to do with the ball after the press. I think the effectiveness of the press has been top-notch. However, the end product afterwards is lacking.
I couldn't agree more.
Mia Hake wins it in the midfield and finds Barkham, but Barkham just lets it slide through her legs. One back by Schinkel. Schinkel attacks the center back. Beats her, but just a touch too big as the other center back wins it. Flicked on by Olathe West. And a miss kick, but then that was very odd.
West trying to break through the center backs here. Drew Klusman takes the ball out wide left calmly and wins a throw-in for her team. She plays it quick down the line towards Mia Barkham, resulting in a West throw-in. Another West throw-in down here on the right side, trying to play in the forward. But Kat Payne just shields the ball for a goal kick for the Ravens.
Kaylee Kappelman is definitely going to take her time here as the clock winds down to 35 seconds. As halftime nears, if you're Coach Graham, what are you saying to the girls at halftime?
I'm just saying to keep doing what you're doing so far, pressing-wise, but to really search for that end product and try and knock a few more goals in on this West team and finish them off.
A scuffle in the midfield as Schinkel wins it back. Shielding, and the ref calls a foul, but ultimately it might go unsung as 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1, and the referee blows for halftime, and the score is Olathe Northwest 1, Olathe West 0. And now we are going to go to a break to ONW Now for the halftime show. Stick with us. We'll be back for the second half in 10 minutes.
Hey Ravens, welcome to ONW Now. I'm Dimma Matthews alongside Sydney Weeks.
In today's show, we'll bring you the stories on the spring play, the new crosswalk, and much more.
This past week, ONW's student NAT classes traveled to the elementary schools to showcase animals we have here at Olathe Northwest and give them a cool experience while still learning.
Throughout fourth quarter, the ONW student naturalist traveled to several different elementary schools to teach kids about different animals.
The animal visits are all about teaching elementary students to appreciate animals, to love animals, how to care for animals, and just more about some of the animals that they might have in their home or in a pet store or something that they might have later on in life.
The naturalists show the animals to the kids, but also teach the kids how to take care of and handle the animals.
I hope that these elementary students go up and remember these animal visits, and that someday might have a lizard or a snake, or when they see one outside, that they don't run from it, but they know something about it.
At the end of the day, the ONW naturalists, as well as the elementary kids, have some new stories to tell.
I think my favorite part of the animal visits is to see the excitement on my students' faces when they come back.
This is Grace Jerzak signing off.
The Hollywood Rave is back and better than ever. Let's send it to Sarah Miguel and Addison Smith for the second edition of this segment.
Hey Ravens, I'm your host, Sarah Miguel.
No, I'm your host, Addison Smith.
Addison, I don't even want to do this with you
Okay,
anymore.
whatever.
Happy late April Fools, Ravens.
We're your hosts, and we're back at it again with a new Hollywood Rave. New name, same show.
Although some of you may not think entertainment news is important, we're here to give you all the details on celebrity gossip and what's trending right now.
The brow on fleek? That's right, I'm talking about Anthony Davis's April Fool's prank. The New Orleans Pelican center convinced NBA fans that he shaved his trademark unibrow.
About to make a drastic change in my life. Want you guys to be a part of it.
Davis played the prank off well, and he conveniently had the camera fall over right as he began to shave. Unibrow or not, we still love you, Anthony Davis.
It's official, love isn't real. After 8 years of marriage, power couple Jenna Dewan Tatum and Channing Tatum have called it quits. The couple announced a separation via Twitter and said that they have nothing but love for one another, and they will continue to be a family for their daughter Everly. At least we can see where their romance started and watch Step Up to mourn the loss of yet another Hollywood couple.
America was graced with a new voice in the grocery industry. Mason Ramsey may be yodeling at a store near you soon. Mason has taken the internet by storm with his amazing voice and may be reaching his peak at 9 years old, but he will forever remain my favorite singer.
Someday she said goodbye. Well, Lord, I thought I would cry. She do me, she do you. She's got that kind of loving. Lord, I love to hear when she comes to sweet Daddy, such a beautiful dream.
That's all for the Hollywood Rave. We're your hosts, Sarah Miguel and Addison Smith. Catch us on the new edition of your favorite segment.
This weekend, the ONW's theater department is putting on a spring play, The Crucible. They've been hard at work rehearsing for the past couple of months and will perform this timeless classic on Friday and Saturday night at 7 p.m.
The Crucible is about the Salem witch trials on the surface, but when Arthur Miller wrote it, he sort of meant it as an allegory for the McCarthyism of the 50s, so, and it sort of stands the test of time, so it's really about oppressed people and people in power and that dynamic all through time.
Be sure to come out and support our theater department by seeing this production.
Now let's toss it over to sports to see what's happening with Raven Athletics.
Hey Region Ravens, welcome back to Game Day Northwest. I'm Angie Torres here with Jake the Snake Hurl.
Today we have updates on swim and dive, baseball, softball, and soccer. Let's get her done.
Congrats to the girls swim and dive team for their successful meet against Shawnee Mission South on Tuesday. Brayton Van Opdorp took 4th in the 200 free and 2nd in the 500 free. Macy Stanton and Lexi Cooper took 3rd and 4th in the 200 IM. Lauren Pugh took 1st in the 50 free and qualified for state along with her 3rd place in the 100 breaststroke. Jaden Brandstrom grabbed 3rd in the 50 free and 2nd in the 100 free. Sam Zeck took 4th in the 500 free. On the diving side, Emily Copeland and Maddie Fentiman took 1st and 2nd. Their next meet will be on Friday at Prairie Trail for the Olathe Invitational.
Last weekend, the softball team took a trip to Lawrence Free State for a battle with the Firebirds and walked away with a 6-1 win. Last night, the Lady Ravens softball team was set to square off with the Olathe West, but the game was rescheduled for April 20th due to weather. The next game will be tonight against Leavenworth Pioneers. Good luck, ladies.
The Lady Ravens soccer team battled the Shawnee Mission West Vikings on Saturday for 3rd place in the Olathe Northwest Varsity Invitational. The Ravens won the game 1-0 on a goal by Mia Hake. The Vikings were shut down by goalkeeper Kaylee Kappelman. 3 Lady Ravens were named the 2018 Olathe Northwest Varsity Invitational All-Tournament Team. Seniors Kaylee Kappelman and Taylor Weens, along with junior Mia Hake, received the honor. The girls play tonight against bitter rival Olathe West at Seaback at 7.
On Friday, the baseball team suffered a tough loss to crosstown rival Olathe South 8-7. The boys started out strong with at least 7-1, but struggled in the back half of the game on the mound. Looking forward, they have 3 games this week against Olathe High, Lawrence High, Shawnee Mission East, and Shawnee Mission Northwest. Good luck, boys.
That's all we got for sports today.
Good luck to all the teams competing this week. Now back to the desk.
Thanks, guys, and just a couple more sports updates. The Raven baseball team beat Lawrence 7-5 last night. Nick Hegarty picked up the win, and Nate Niceswinger had 3 hits. The boys are back in action tonight as they play a doubleheader against Shawnee Mission East at 4:15 and Shawnee Mission Northwest at 6:30.
In other sports news, Mrs. Brandstrom, ONW's very own swimming coach, is in the running for the 2018 Community of Coaches Coach of the Year Award. Brandstrom is one of 3 Kansas City area female coach finalists for this prestigious award. You can vote for her at communityofcoaches.org/2018 COY.
The school district recently issued a new app to the App Store called Olathe Schools. This is a beneficial app to the kids because it shares trustworthy notifications about school closing as well as the lunch menu and other resources. It also has an option where you can report anonymously to send in tips to the administration about anything you see in school. To get the full tutorial of the new app, head over to the YouTube channel.
Last year, crossing Lone was like playing a game across your road, weaving in and out of oncoming cars to get to school. But now we have a new, nicely painted crosswalk with a sign just north of College Boulevard on Lone Elm. If you're crossing Lone Elm, please use this crosswalk. And remember, look both ways like Mom taught you. And drivers, please slow down and let students cross.
That's all we have for this week's edition of ONW Now Ravens. Make sure to follow us on the Twitter at ONW Now_Raven Daily and on Snapchat at ONW Now.
For the Raven Daily and the rest of the Convergence team, this has been Demma Matthews and Sydney Weeks. Don't forget to catch tomorrow's episode of the Raven Minute, and we'll see you next week on ONW Now. Stay classy.
Thank you. Can I help you today? No thanks. I'm just looking. This is cute. So?
You wouldn't do it there. So, don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Like they're the fashion police.
Boo! Hey, where are you going? You can't get by me. I'm #1 in this class. I rule this lab. I'm #1. Hey, I don't think so. Yes! Winner! I am a king! Woo!
You wouldn't do it there. So, don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
What?
Jerk.
Hey, great party.
Oh, thanks. Here you go. 1 hamburger, medium well.
This is well done.
No. That's medium well.
What? Are you calling me a liar? This thing is practically burned.
That's it. You're not going to come to my house and tell me how to cook a hamburger.
You wouldn't do it there.
You gotta be crazy.
So, don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life.
Center, as we welcome back to College Boulevard Activity Center as we begin the second half of Olathe Northwest versus Olathe West. They swap sides and the score is 1-0. It seems as if everybody's ready to go. And we'd like to give a shout out to our viewers, of course. We couldn't do this without you guys. Thanks, Mom, for watching. Means a lot. But let's get this show on the road. So we have Barman and what seems to be Mia Hake beginning the kickoff as the referee checks both sides and gets the clock rolling. A big kick from the Ravens right off kickoff and goes up for a throw-in.
Pinning the West Owls deep in their own half.
Do you think that's a strategical kick from Coach Graham?
I think it is. I've seen it quite a bit with the boys team, just trying to get the ball up the field to start instead of kind of creating a hole for yourself in the back by passing it backwards off the kickoff. As the ball is won by Maddie Weaver, played into Malia Schinkel in the middle with a nice bit of skill. Impressive.
That was impressive. Schinkel's known for her fancy footwork in the midfield. That's really able to account for any, if she has any, like, disadvantages that she has. A through ball from Olathe West, but Bella Latorella is much faster and lets it roll to Kaylee Kappelman. Kappelman moves to the center of the box as she directs her defenders and plays short to Pickworth. Back to Weens. And a long on-the-ground ball that reaches Olathe West defense, and they look to attack.
West appearing to be comfortable off the start in this half, as they are called for offsides. Taylor Weens about to take the kick for the Ravens.
The big kick from Taylor Weens as it sails over an Olathe West midfielder, but won by the defender. Olathe West just a tad too far as it finds Bella Latorella. And a ball outside from Mia Hake to Haraki. Here's Schinkel, as she has a hit, but it deflects off Olathe West.
The Ravens retaining possession here. Out wide to Haraki as she swiftly beats the defender, but touch taking her out of bounds.
Oh, and the ref gives the ball to Olathe Northwest. That might be a makeup call for a little bit of a shove from Olathe West.
Yeah, can see it.
Taylor Weens goes to... Oh, it's giving us a foul. Alright, that makes a little more sense, because it did not look like it touched Olathe West. Taylor Weens stretching out for the free kick. A lot of the players are stuck back post. A big kick. And Olathe West flicks it on, but it goes just to Lindsay Carr.
West surprisingly doing well in the air this game, considering the disadvantage of size.
Maddie Weaver with the big kick.
Chested down by Barman.
Kathleen Payne just with a pass or a touch just too big, and it goes to the Olathe West keeper, who plays it short as usual. And West plays it out of bounds, and it would seem as if that was one of the few times where playing it short just Northwest really paid off.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. The pressure seems to be up a little bit more for the Ravens at the start of this first half, as they've maybe regained a bit of that energy that they may have lost from the high press at the start of the first half.
A long ball that sails directly to number 10, Holly Barney, as she begins to go at Bella Latorella with a little bit of fancy footwork. And a shot! Oh, and it just goes onto the wrong side of the side netting. That is probably the most dangerous opportunity we've seen from Olathe West this half.
Not a bad shot at all from number 10, Holly Barney. As she has a smile on her face and waves to her fans in the crowd for that piece of skill that almost resulted in a tying goal for the West Owls.
We did see Kappelman at the post. She seemed as if she had it covered, but I think we can all agree that definitely worried quite a few fans.
Worried me a bit, Evan. That was a good shot.
Quite a shot. As Olathe Northwest wins it back and clears it to Olathe West. Once again, we have number 10 in the midfield with another bit of fancy footwork. You can definitely...
Wow, cheeky. She went for the shot from about a third of the way out of the field. What do you think of that decision to take a shot from there? You think that she was just feeling a bit confident with the piece of skill before that?
I think confidence played a big factor, as she almost put in a belter from right outside the 18-yard box. And so she thought she'd try her luck, but maybe that's a bit of a reality check that it is a team sport. She needs to get her team involved. As number 19, Caroline Steele goes down. And that looked a little bit rough as the Ravens play quick.
Yeah, the Ravens definitely feeling a bit of pressure from the West Owls. Pressure that they didn't seem to face a lot in the first half, as the throw is taken quickly by the Ravens.
Cross from Haraki and cleared by Olathe West.
Won back by the Ravens and played out towards Schinkel, but again quickly lost, and quickly gotten back, and quickly lost.
Seeing a pattern develop here. Another piece of fancy footwork from number 10. She is definitely the standout player for this Olathe West Owls team.
I would have to agree there, but the Ravens almost find a chance. West playing it back to their keeper and taking no chances is number 0, Carson Jaso.
Taylor Weens finds Lindsey Carr on the outside. Looks inside for Barman. Tries to find Carr back around, but gets a little shove in the back. Deemed fair by the referee and won back by Schinkel. Schinkel finds Steele in the midfield, who finds Hiraki. Cleared, but hits off Steele. Stays in play. Olathe West takes it slow up the field as Hiraki applies a bit of pressure.
West again just playing with it in the back a little bit, trying to hold on to the ball, not give it up. Doing a good job so far as they find their star player, number 10, but she gives it away to the Raven defense.
One back by Bella Lacharella as she goes into a foreign part of her position, the midfield.
Taking the ball across the field a little bit there, but that's good that you can have that ability in your defenders to dribble the ball and hold on to it a little bit.
Long ball by Weens as it goes directly to the Olathe West keeper. But a little bit of pressure is putting the Olathe West Owls under a little bit of stress, and they clear it to Weens, who briefly loses it but wins it back as Weaver clears it to number 11 of the Owls, Alyssa Ward. Back out to Ward. And a long through ball. Kappelman comes out, and it is a easy pickup for her once again. Her decision making has really advanced over her time here at Olathe Northwest.
Yeah, she's a great keeper to have back there, and one that you can trust for sure.
Steele looks outside for Hiraki, who takes a big touch around the defender, but Olathe West gets it. They're under a little bit of stress right here. Hiraki applies more pressure, and Barman wins it in the air. An overhead kick by the Olathe West defense clears the lines a little bit, and just an awkward touch from Bella sends the ball out of bounds. Big boot from Olathe West. How do you feel about it? It would seem as if both these teams are engaged. She's onside because Olathe Northwest passed it to her, but how do you feel about both teams engaging in these long balls?
I feel like it's a strategy that has its ups and downs. If it works, it creates a great chance on the counterattack, but as we've seen a lot this game, it hasn't been working, and it just kind of results in a loss of the ball for the team who tries to play it, and just a reset for the team that receives it.
Olathe Northwest with a sub, and now the throw as they try to send it back to Pickworth, who threw it in, but sent out by Weens, and Olathe West takes another quick throw in. A long boot from Carr as it looks like she's brought down, and the referee's going to bring it back for a foul.
That's the correct decision there.
This is definitely Weens' territory as she has a big boot to her, and she is definitely known for getting it down the field. We could see a little bit of a layoff, maybe?
Maybe. She definitely will not be taking this short. She'll be looking to send it up into the box and apply some pressure to the West Owls. As she does so, kicking it far, aiming for Barman. Played back out wide by Kathleen Payne. Finds Lindsey Carr, who was shoved in the back and actually wins a foul for the Ravens. Free kick. Again, going to be taken by Taylor Weens from the right side, looking for the head of any white jersey there in the box.
You would think if you were Olathe West you would catch on and maybe double up on Mia Hake, but she still seems to be single marked as they send it in. And Hake almost latches onto the end of it, but just a tip sends it just over her head. Olathe West is now on the counter, but it breaks down as Bella wins it back.
I think it was the goalie of the West Owls there. You got a nice touch to really prevent that from hitting the back of the net, as Maddie Weaver makes a tactical foul on the West Owls around the halfway mark.
Please tell the fans about the reason of that foul, as you are a current soccer player. You do indulge in the sport of indoor soccer, and not only that, but excel at it. Play the number 9 position. What kind of foul were we looking at there?
From Weaver's perspective, she saw an opportunity, maybe a bit of a threat from the Olathe West Owls as they were counterattacking, and it's just smart to take a foul there and possibly even a yellow card just to slow down the game for a second and allow your team to get back. She definitely felt that she was at a disadvantage, Maddie Weaver did, and I definitely think it was a smart foul just to slow it down and make sure that there was no threat. As Mia Hake plays a beautiful ball out to Hiraki, big touch leads them to losing it, giving up to the West Owls.
And it all ends back up at Bella Latorella, who just takes a touch too big, but takes a shot to the face, it looked like. Just maybe a flying elbow. Probably more towards the upper torso region, but she draws the foul as Taylor Weens once again steps up for this free kick. It seems like less people are going into the box for this free kick.
Some movement by the Ravens as Weens goes for goal. It wasn't really a threat for the West Owls there, was it?
I think Carson Jaso had everything under control, the Owls keeper. Especially when you've got everybody lining up on that far side and she decides to go near, then it gives the goalie a lot of time to really gather up the ball and secure her defense's safety, as Taylor Weens wins it back in the midfield.
Finding Carr as they look to advance.
Weens finds Lindsay Carr, who is an aggressive force on the wing. She is definitely a nuisance for those fullbacks.
Yeah, she hasn't seen a lot of the ball tonight. They favored Hiraki's side a little bit more, but she's definitely trying to make a statement with every touch.
Olathe West plays out of the back and finds number 2, who gives it away briefly before being won back. Stolen back by the Ravens after a hopeful through ball, and it ends up at Hake's feet as she looks for the switch to Hiraki and completes it. Hiraki cuts in, bounces off a West defender, up in the air.
Interesting. The way that Barman shot that, it almost looked as if it was going to go into the back of the net. Quickly won back by the Ravens, then lost again.
Bella Latorella applying a tad bit of pressure, but she leaves a little bit of a courtesy space to number 10, as she has figured out that number 10 has a little more foot skill than some other Owls on this team. She is more of the creator. A long through ball searching for Lindsay Carr.
She's not going to give up on that one.
She goes in for the challenge and it's clean, but the goalie was having none of it as she wins it, and Lindsay Carr continues to apply the pressure. That's one of the things that Carr excels at, is her effort and her willingness to win the ball back.
I agree. It's definitely an aspect that coaches look for in their players. West switching it in the back.
A short pass almost costs the Owls, and Olathe Northwest finally wins it back. Finds Barman, who just takes a touch too big, and Olathe West wins it. And now they have a little bit of space going down the left wing. Finally giving the defenders a little bit of a breath. Taylor Weens makes sure that she is unable to turn and she has to go backwards. Lindsay Carr with a little bit of chop at the feet and gets a foul called on her. One of those situations where maybe just a tad too aggressive, but I think you're willing to let that happen for the hard work that she puts in. A ball in puts Olathe Northwest under pressure, but cleared by Schinkel. Out for a throw for Olathe Northwest, and we have a 5-person substitution coming in. But I only have 2 eyes. So I can tell you for sure Drew Klusman is coming on. I can also say that number 16, Skylar Long, has made an appearance. Mia Barkham goes back in on the left wing, and 2 other Ravens.
Looks like at right back we have Ashton Dane, as well as right forward Skylar Shernian.
So we're experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties right now, but we still have the audio working, so we are able to give you all a... oh, and the vision's back, so just disregard what I said. Olathe Northwest playing a little bit of defense. Taylor Weens with a nasty but clean tackle as she wins it and sends it out for a throw-in for Olathe West. Throw into number 3, but given away with a short pass, and then kicked out of bounds by Olathe West, and that gives Olathe Northwest a little bit of leeway to make the decisions that they want.
Skylar Long fighting in the middle.
Kathleen Payne with a touch with the outside of the foot that finds Drew Klusman, just barely. Just enough sauce on that pass to find the winger. And a good layoff from number 6, Skylar Sherinian, but was unable to receive the return pass. Olathe West attacking the left wing. And one back by Olathe Northwest. Here's Mia Hake at what would seem is the striker position. Tell us a little bit about last year when that was her actual position.
Last year, she excelled a lot at that position. She scored quite a few goals for this team and was one of their best threats. Other teams were definitely afraid of her and had a lot of struggles trying to mark her. And she put in quite a few goals for these Ravens. The Ravens who made it past sub-state last year but lost in a first round of regionals, I believe.
Olathe Northwest wins it back and finds Mia Hake, who has a bit of time and is able to find Maddie Weaver to Kathleen Payne.
Composure by Kathleen Payne as she's trying to get it up the field, but given away in the middle by Skylar Long. One back cleanly by Skylar Sherinian as she attacks the right side, but tackle one cleanly. Not cleanly.
Oh.
As a yellow card is shown to the Olathe West bench.
I would assume that's on Trump, the Olathe West head coach, but it could have also been to an assistant coach, who are Andy Weber or Randy Enright. Either way, it is a free kick for Olathe Northwest in a what would consider a dangerous position for Taylor Weens.
The ref just stopping the clock here to get everything back on check, and we're back underway. No, I guess not. The ref going to have a word with the Olathe West bench.
20 minutes remain on the clock as the girls.
No longer a foul either. A throw-in for the Ravens.
Throw given away to West, and then booted up in the air. A scramble for the ball as Olathe Northwest comes out with it and finds Hake looking for the switch, but ends up going to Holly Barney again. One back in a dangerous position and fouled.
Yes, that one is a foul for the Ravens. Again, in a dangerous spot, about in between the halfway line and the 18-yard box. Again, a spot where Taylor Weens may be looking to put the ball into the back of the net.
A yellow card has just been awarded to Olathe West. It looks like it is on number 3, Lizzie Finley, and if I'm not mistaken, that's the first yellow card we've seen a field player.
Yes, it is this game. Olathe West being the team to receive it, as Taylor Weens lines up this free kick.
A line drive from Taylor Weens just sails far right of the goal and finds nobody. Olathe Northwest drops back into defense, as it looks like the coach has put Lizzie Finley right back in. Maybe that shows how important she is to this team.
Part at the high school level does result in a substitution for the player who received it. So just did his best to get a key player back in the game after just a little mistake.
A through ball by Olathe West sails just a little too far, as an Olathe Northwest throw-in is about to ensue. Surveying her options, she decides to go to the head of the nearest player, and a foul has been called on Mia Hake, and Olathe West now has a free kick right around midfield.
Bringing over number 10, Holly Barney, for this free kick, looking to place in a dangerous area right at the top of the 18-yard box. She's receiving some instructions from her coach. Long run up for this one. Let's see what she can.
Kicked out by Taylor Weens and finds number 13, Mia Barkium, one of the 2 freshmen on the team yet again. A one back by Olathe West. Ah. Oh, there's 4 of them.
Oh, yes, there is 4.
2 we have not seen. Backup keeper, Tori Spurgeon. You can't expect her to get into the game that much because Kaylee Kappelman is such a force in the goalkeeping position. And it looks like a change in call as it's a Northwest throw-in. The other freshman, Emma Coad, or Code, could very well be either, a defender who also finds rough time to get in with a very solid back line for the Olathe Northwest Ravens.
Yeah, as well as multiple options at the wing spots for the defense.
Actually given as a free kick.
Taylor Weens here.
Of a West defender who clears it.
Olathe Northwest still trying to keep it in the west half. So as it's cleared out by Olathe West for a throw-in for the Olathe Northwest Ravens. As we have yet another sub, as who is it? Bella Latorella will be stepping into the left back spot, and Drew Klusman will be pushed up to the left wing spot, and Mia Barkium will be taking a rest as she received a talking to from Coach Graham. Some further instructions on what to do when she's placed back in.
Another script, a hard collision.
Oh, wow.
As it would seem as if Northwest won the ball, but the referee has deemed they've won it in a illegal way, as West gets the free kick and kicks it long quickly. A battle for the ball as West retains possession. But Kathleen Payne clears it up. A big boot horizontally across the field.
looking for the head of Mia Hake, just slips in between her and the defender. But she wins it back, resulting in a Northwest throw.
Lottarella for the throw. Surveying her options, taking her time. 14:35 on the clock. The score is Olathe Northwest 1, Olathe West 0. And a foul throw by Lottarella as she forgets to put the ball over her head as she throws it in. So that is Olathe West throw-in. They take it quick and go defensively. They once again find number 2.
She seems to be playing everywhere for this West team. We've seen her attacking, and we've also seen her kind of helping out on the defense. She seems to be an important player for these West Owls, a player that they seem to rely on quite a bit, as West gives the ball away. Taylor Weens clears, and West retains possession.
Received by Weaver and booted up the field. And that might actually be on for Drew Klusman. Retains it. Kicked out by Schinkel, and Olathe West is awarded a throw-in. As the referee tells them to scoot it on back.
Not really getting anything out of it.
The game has kind of stood at a standstill as we're seeing a lot of back and forth in the midfield, but no real chances by either side for I'd say probably the past 15 minutes. What do you think this is? What do you think? Why do you think that is resulting?
I'm gonna have to say it's just a mixture of maybe a bit of tiredness from the teams, as they've both been applying some pressure and working very hard on both ends of the field, and just a lack of both teams really can't seem to get their passes going, and it's kind of resulting in a bit of a sloppier game, but still fun to watch.
Olathe West takes that side, but it's intercepted by the fullback for Olathe Northwest. It looks like it is a one of the 20 numbers. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Ashton Dane, as she fights for the ball again, and it ends up at the feet of Schinkel, I believe, to Mia Hake, to Kathleen Payne with a back heel, and almost finds Mia Hake through, but cleared out.
That would have been something special, as Bella Lottarella works very hard and has a very nice touch to spark a nice counterattack here for the Ravens.
To Schinkel, who turns with the ball. Schinkel cuts in, looks for Mia Hake, but just finds her a little too outside, and it ends up at Olathe West.
West fighting for the ball here in the middle, stringing together a few passes before Taylor Ween steps in, and the ball is flicked out by Drew Klusman.
And goes backwards. They play number 3, and they are definitely keeping possession. However, they are down 1-0 with 11 minutes remaining. Do you make any changes in the final minutes to try to notch one up on the board and send this game in overtime?
I feel like you have to, Evan. If you're down a goal here, and you've been struggling the way that you've been playing so far against the Raven ladies, I definitely think it's time to make a change. Maybe try and get a little bit more attacking power and creativity up top and in the midfield to maybe create just that one chance, because it only takes one chance to bring this game back level.
A substitution for the Ravens as number 11, Riley Pickworth, comes into a different position for her. She's usually a defender, but this time as a central defensive mid. Kathleen Payne wins into the midfield and boots it up, and that is a dangerous ball. Mia Hake Goes up into the air, but won by the goalkeeper.
The keeper staying calm and composed there. As the West Owls look to really spark a break, but kicked out by Ashton Dane.
Taylor Weens kicks out for another throw. Olathe West for the throw, and they go long again, but just a tad too long, and it ends up at the feet of Ashton Dane. Under a little bit of pressure, but is able to get out of it. Up to Hake, who looks for the run of Klusman, who's taken down. Looks like just a little bit of tangle of legs, and the ref saw nothing. But Klusman is looking for the pressure, and she kicks it out for a throw-in. More hard work from Olathe Northwest wingers has really been successful in this game.
It has. The pressure from Klusman has been there a lot this half, and it's worried the West Owls a little bit. They don't really have an answer for her, as Maddie Weaver is absolutely clapped together by two West defenders here in the middle. Let's hope she's okay.
He actually gives a foul in the direction of Olathe West, even though I'm pretty sure Maddie Weaver had the last kick on the ball there. What do you have to say about that call from the referee?
Interesting call from the ref. As it appeared that Maddie was the one who was fouled, but West getting it started here in the back, just passing it amongst the center backs, looking for a breakout front, and they seem to have an attack on here. Quickly cleared by Ashton Dane. She was not having any of that.
Olathe West with the throw as they look long, but Taylor Weens heads it right back out and says, "Why don't you try that again?" For another throw in.
8 minutes left here at College Boulevard Activity Center. The Olathe Northwest Ravens up 1-0 against the Olathe West Owls. West really needing to get something special going here as they cross the ball into the box.
A mistouch from Olathe West leads to Mia Hake winning the ball and sending it out for a throw. That was a dangerous sequence right there with that lofting ball.
There's always a threat to defenders as West is in the box here. They're looking for a pass. Cleared by Riley Pickworth.
The wrong one.
Yeah, the pass was lacking. They've seemed to be getting it together a little bit more as they have the ball in the Raven half, but Mia Hake wins it and plays in Drew Klusman here on the left side.
And two girls with equal pace, but Olathe West gets that first. Number 8, Taylor Harris wins it and sends it out for an Olathe Northwest throw, and we start to see substitutions who've been sitting out for quite a while. We've had non-stop action and or Olathe West throw-ins where Olathe Northwest can't come in. But we see number 12, Jamie Barman, come back in. Number 13, Barkham. And was it Lindsay Carr was the third one?
I think so.
Lindsay Carr on the right wing.
West throw once again.
A big boot from Olathe West sends it down the field as number 10 has no idea where it's at. And a little bit of pushing and shoving.
Wow.
Here we go, a stoppage of play.
Be a card here for number 10 of the West Owls, Holly Barney, as she appeared to not only shove Maddie Weaver to the ground, but also pull her down by her hair. Something the guys don't have much of a problem with, but
a new and upcoming hairstyle for the guys. The long hair, the flow, as referred to.
Yeah, it's popular nowadays, especially at the high school level. But I don't think anyone's hair is long enough to be pulled down like that in that type of fashion.
Maybe an act of frustration by Olathe West?
Yeah. Barney seems to be just a little bit flustered with the way that the Ravens have been able to contain her and the West Owls today.
And the ref comes over to redo the time.
Crack a few jokes for the fans here.
5:15, I believe, is not 55:70.
Wow.
That's quite a few more minutes than we actually do have here. So we're gonna get that solved. I believe he said 5:15. However, I could be mistaken. And it looks like we're having a scoreboard malfunction. And it's fixed, and we have 5:57 left on the clock.
Wow. A lot of time added there.
Yes. I thought 5:15, but it was a yellow card. There was some time that went off the clock, and
it was. It seems as if the refs this year are looking to really maximize the time and make sure that every second is taken into account. As we saw with the goal earlier in the first half, he stopped the clock there as well to make sure that the timing was correct. The free kick by Taylor Weens pins Olathe West deep in their own half, but it shooted away nicely by the West Owls for a goal kick.
Drew, you are a former club player. You have played at the club level. You have also played in indoor. Tell us the differences between club clocks and high school clocks.
Well, in club, the timer goes up, and at the high school level, the timer does go down. So there's no stoppage time or anything like that. And stoppage time is something that could really change a game for the better or for the worse. I've had multiple experiences with losing and winning within stoppage time, but at the high school level, there is no time for the stoppages. It's just a constant clock, except for the yellow cards, and it definitely makes a difference as the Ravens are looking to press forward a little bit, but a corner kick is awarded.
It looked like Barman went to ground a little bit. Maybe she might have been fouled, but I think a nice decision by the referee to just give the corner. Taylor Weens sets up for the corner kick as the clock rolls down to 4 minutes and 18 seconds remaining. The Ravens once again do their almost trademarked corner kick formation as they burst out. And the header won by Barman.
Still in? Oh.
Almost kept in bounds by Weens, as it seemed like she was the only one who went for the ball and had faith in it staying in bounds. It very well could have been saved by anybody else.
The West Owls playing it quickly out of their own half in an attempt to make something out of these last 3.5 minutes or so. But the Ravens applying pressure, making it hard for them to get forward as Taylor Weens wins a nice tackle in the back.
A big throw from Olathe West as it flicks off 2 Raven heads directly into the hands of Kayla Kappelman. So in that situation, the flick header's paid off, but that's typically something you don't want from a defender.
Yeah, it's a little bit risky on the defender's end, but with Kappelman in goal, I'm sure they were confident that she would take care of it.
A flick-on header finds Lindsay Carr on the right wing, and she's got a little bit of space to work with. She gets past the last defender. She is driving down the end line.
Played across goal here. Ah, the West defender just wins it.
A good opportunity there to really put the bow on the game and wrap it up, but Olathe West is able to play adequate defense and win it back.
Yeah, they worked hard there to get back, and yeah, they might have just saved this game for a few more minutes.
A throw for Olathe West deep in the Ravens half, and it's shielded off as the Ravens look to, the Owls look to attack. Pickworth was having none of it as she boots the ball forward, and it's continued to be kicked with a one-on-one as Barman applies pressure, but calmly passed back out by the goalkeeper. And here we have Barkium starting to read a little bit of the Olathe West game plan. Oh, and a little bit of a tug by Olathe West. Barkium with a turn and a shot, but it's a tame one to say the least.
Yeah, I noticed that the Ravens saw the keeper off the line, and they tried to get a quick shot off. It wasn't there, but it was the right idea.
With some good defense as number 19 for the Ravens, Caroline Steele wins it back. As Schinkel launches it off the Olathe West defender, and some fancy footwork to keep the ball, is able to find Barman. And Barman plays it back out to Kathleen Payne, who looks to send it right back in, but it goes directly to an Olathe West player. Olathe West with 1 minute and 17 seconds remaining, looking to notch that equalizer and send this thing into overtime.
Longwell played over the top, trying to penetrate the Northwest defense, not having it, says Bella Lottarella. And they're working their way out the back, the Ravens are, and they just won themselves a throw in. I'm sure they'll milk this up a little bit and see the game out.
50 seconds remain as the Ravens take the throw in. It's a long one. Almost flicked on by Barman, and Olathe West plays it back to the goalie, who plays it directly back out to the center back.
Oh, it also appears that Mia Hake switched to the right back spot after playing most of the game in an attacking position. Do you think that's a tactical move by Coach Graham and the Ravens?
I think that Graham sees in Hake a reliable player, and for that reason he's able to put her in situations that might not fit her typically, but she is able to succeed in those positions.
With 10 seconds left, it appears that the Olathe Northwest Ravens will see this one out for a 1-0 victory over the Olathe West Owls. 2-1.
And the Ravens win 1-0 against the Olathe West Owls. The first matchup ever between Olathe Northwest and Olathe West. And the Ravens take the lead in the series 1-0. And their record changes to 3-1 on the season. Is that the start the Ravens were looking for this season?
I think it was a great start. Only 3-4 games in, really still trying to feel out the team and introduce the younger players to this level of play, and so far so good for the Ravens.
Do you have any thoughts on the Olathe West team for their first game of the season?
They didn't look bad. I feel like over the next few years they'll start to develop a little bit more and really cause a threat to the other schools in the Sunflower League. And yeah, it wasn't a bad showing at all from them. Only a 1-0 loss for a very young West team.
And that's all we have here from College Boulevard Activity Center. I am Evan Kolopek alongside Drew Fleeler, and we invite you out to our next broadcast on April 24th against Olathe East, a classic matchup between two really good teams. And we will see you then. Signing out, I'm Evan Kolopek alongside Drew Fleeler. Thanks for watching.